Good evening. Welcome to the Paperclip Bracelet live show. We are going to start with 10 paperclips, which should be plenty. We'll find out. Whew. All right, 10 paperclips straightened. Now we get to wrap all 10 up. Hello. Welcome to the show, Celeste. One. Normally I do this with much smaller rings, like the belt, but we're going a little bit bigger so people can see. It'll still come out beautiful. Welcome, Danielle. 2. 3. 4. 'Heyo. Alright, we're going to do 5. See how far that gets us, which won't be that far, but it'll give us an idea of just how many I need here. Come back to those. Why, thank you. Alright, so with this ring size, it looks like we're going to get 6 rings per coil. So I got 5 coils here. We'll get 30 rings. Definitely going to need more, but it shouldn't be too bad. Gustava, but we call her Gussie for short. We had another scan scheduled for her lung cancer, but we decided to cancel it since it's inoperable and there's nothing we can do anyway. We're just going to keep her comfortable. But she's still asymptomatic, so we're hopeful. She is 13 years old and was rescued from some dog fighters, which means she does not play well with other animals. But she loves people. All right, 30 rings. I did just throw a crappy one in there. Trash. Opener. Yeah, I only get rescues. I mean, we've had her since she was like 2 years old, though. So, I mean, we've had her a long time. She's 13 now. When you first cut them, you're going to notice a slight offset. That's what I'm fixing right now. And it was crazy, too. We brought her in for a small little lipoma growth that she had on her leg. And before doing the surgery for that, they did some x-rays. And that's when they found the lung cancer. And we've dropped about, I don't know, $5,000 on more scans and more tests and more surgeries. And then they cut her open to try to get it out, and then they decided they couldn't. But again, if we had never gotten that first initial x-ray, we never would have even known because she's asymptomatic. All right, first step, 4 in 1, which is why it's called the 4-in-1. Every ring is attached to 4 others. Gonna spread it out on the finger like that. Grab the next 3 rings. Put 2 of them closed. Open up the 3rd. Put the 2 closed on the 3rd. So now that ring's got 2 on it. Now we're going to go to these top 2 right here. We're going to hook it through. And close. And now both of those rings have 4. That is all there is to the European 4-in-1. Paperclips hold up for a long time. They are galvanized steel. So they're going to last a lot longer than any aluminum bracelets or anything like that you make. Now, that does mean they're heavy, though. So large objects like Bob the Paperclip Dragon, shirts, stuff like that, they weigh a ton. This belt that I could beat somebody to death with. And 3. Hook 2, just like we did last time. Go to your 2 on the end. Hook it through there. Close it off. Now you can already see the pattern starting to form. And we're going to do that all the way around the wrist. And then we get to make a clasp, which those are always fun. That's sarcasm. I've had mixed results with making clasp out of paper clips. And hook it through those two again. And the longer it gets, the easier it gets. You can get past those first couple of rings, you're good. Hook, and done. Stubborn ring. Hook 1, hook 2, hook 3, and hook 4. No worries. We're actually gotten a lot further with 5 paper clips than I thought we would. Hook 1, hook 2, hook 3, and hook 4. Now, unlike the old school blacksmiths, I am not taking the time to put a rivet into each and every one of these rings because that's just crazy. When you have small enough rings like this, it's not going to come apart. You have really tiny rings like this, it's really not going to come apart. You got big rings like this, yeah, then you got to start having problems. Yes, the paper clips are made out of galvanized steel, and they hold up very well. This section of the bell here, I think I made that about 10 years ago, and I've never weight tested it, but I sure as hell can't pull it apart. I'd love to get it weight tested, but I'm not going to go buy one of those hanging scales just for one test. Find somebody that has one that I can borrow, that would be nice. Of course, not all can't speak. In order to test it, I have to break it, but that's okay, I can repair it. And hook 1, hook 2, hook 3, and hook 4. If you're doing a project that big, especially if you're just starting out with chainmail, I do not recommend paper clips. If you go aluminum, which is probably what you're going to have to use for something that size. Otherwise, you're going to be walking around with 60, 70 pounds of weight on you. I recommend making the rings very small, just so they hold up better. It means more work, but it'll last a bit longer. All right, so that is 5 paper clips. You always have a little trouble with this end piece. It likes to roll through, but you know how it goes. It's pretty easy. All right, so 5 paper clips got us that far. So I'm going to need 10 more, but we're not going to go all the way. Maybe 7. We'll try 7. But I got 5 already already straightened. After I get these 7 ring cuts, we will get started on the clasp. Nothing says we can't make the clasp first. I would definitely recommend it. Jewelry is not a bad way to go, but it's usually going to be pretty small to the point where you're not really going to be able to see the pattern very well. So if you're trying to do a dress, bracelet or a belt's not a bad idea. And really, this is only tutorial you need to make a belt. You can also buy your rings pre-cut, but that takes some of the fun out of it. Long run, you're better off making your own. No matter what material you use, it'll be a lot cheaper. Although I have seen a guy running around with these rubber chainmail rings, which I was tempted to go get some cheap little 50-cent O-rings from the hardware store, because that seems cool. You can do away with the clasp. And you got to have that clasp, otherwise you can't fit it over your hand to get to your wrist. But with those rubber ones, you could. I wouldn't be able to use them in a whole lot, though, because that would break my rules about using something other than paper clips, but they're still pretty cool. Black and red, you say? Be right back. And I'm back. So this one has kind of worn down over the years. This is what you get with black and red when you mix. I got 4 different chainmail patterns in this. Byzantine, Helm's Weave. I don't know what the other 2 are. I made it a long time ago. But you can get a lot more complicated than what I'm making today. It has seen better days, though. I wore that one a lot. That one takes at least 10 hours. I do not, actually. I am a gamer, but I do not LARP. Nothing against it, just don't. Could make some good costumes, though. Alright, 5, 2 more. Then we're going to work on the clasp. I did cheat and use store-bought clasp on the old one, but That was a long time ago. I'm a lot more stricter on my rules now, even though they are my rules. Top 3 states. Well, I'm originally from Louisiana, and I love New Orleans, so I'm going with New Orleans for number 1. Not a fan of New York. I did like North Dakota a bit. I've spent a little bit of time in just about every state to the west of the Mississippi. Not a whole lot on the East Coast. Number 3, if I had the money to retire, would probably be Colorado. I'm not a beach person. Get me 100 acres in the middle of nowhere, off the grid, but still have modern amenities. That's the dream. Of course, I'd be able to have to get paperclip supplies from Amazon. Definitely somewhere cold. Can't stand the heat. If it's above about 58, I'm uncomfortable. Alright, this should be enough rings to finish. But we are going to work on the clasp here. At the moment, I am in Missouri. I got kicked out of New Orleans when Katrina hit. 15, 16 years now? It's all right in Missouri, but it actually gets hotter up here than it does in the South, which is crazy. It gets a lot colder and a lot hotter. And the food. The food is horrible. Everything's loaded with butter and fat up here. Well, they do have good funnel cakes. Funnel cakes are good. We don't have those down south. Seafood cost a fortune. And there you go, 2 Missourians. I'm over here in St. Louis. And the one that really gets me, so whenever you go into a restaurant up here and they'll throw the word Cajun on something, just throwing the word Cajun on something and sprinkling some seasoning does not make it Cajun. Yeah, there's really none. There's like the Blue Oyster Bar, but everything there is frozen 3 weeks ago. Yeah, probably longer than that. The breaking point for me was when I went to the St. Louis Zoo, which I will give you credit on the zoo. The zoo is actually incredible up here compared to down there. But they had a Cajun po' boy, and I'm like, how do you possibly mess up a po' boy? But they did. Yeah, they did. All right, clasp. I think we're going to go with a bar clasp. Just like this old store-bought one, but made of paper clips. Okay, crossbar first. Clamp. Twist. Size doesn't matter for this because I'm going to cut it to size after I'm done. So we're just going to stop there. I actually don't. 90% of the stuff I make, I give away. I enjoy making stuff and I like the end product, but I've never tried to sell anything. Probably could, just don't. The main reason I don't sell stuff is just because there's really no way to put a value on it. I mean, if I have like a big project that I'm spending 1,000 hours on, if I sell it for, $5,000, I still only made $5 an hour. There's not a whole lot of profit in it when you work with paper clips and it's this slow. But you can put a smile on people's faces. And now if I ever finish the big dragon, cost of material. I get about 1,000 paper clips for $5. Now the time costs something, but like I said, I enjoy doing it. For me, it's a challenge. So usually somebody will give me an idea for something I haven't made before, and if I like the idea and I figure out the engineering to make it work, I'll give it to them after making a couple videos. But yeah, if anybody ever wants to buy the Paperclip Dragon when I'm done, now that one I'll sell, but only for like $1 million. Oh yeah, there's a dragon. Go in my video reel 2 videos back. When I say dragon, I don't mean little dragon, I mean big dragon. He's not done though. Probably got another year left on him. Now if I rush through it, I can get done in a month. I just got a million other projects. Alright, little bitty crossbar. Okay. Now we're going to wrap the end there so it looks a little nicer. I did name him Bob. He is Bob the Paperclip Dragon. He is version 4. They get bigger every time. So I had Alex, Marcus, Steve, and now Bob. And his gold tooth is also a paperclip. The other ones are small, though. They get bigger each time, so different stages of trying to make the big one. I think Steve is in the video, 2 videos behind. Should be both of them, one on top of the other. Steve going for a ride. All right, we're gonna make that the crossbar. Snip. 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 Still a little big. Fix that in a minute. I have. I've been to a few of them. It's been probably about 5 years, though. It's been probably about 5 years, though. Oh, it's been about 5 years. And we're going to unwrap unused portion. Just like the Paperclip crafting, I'm a crafter fan. Subnautica, Mass Effect, of course. Like everyone and their mother, I played Skyrim a million hours. So RPGs, some shooters, but very limited. I'm not a big Call of Duty person. Borderlands. The Long Dark. I am an Xboxer. Got the PlayStation, but aside from like The Forest, there's not a lot I play on it. Okay, almost there. And we will come back to that later. Three at a time. Hook 2. Hello everyone just joining us. And loop and close. Three more. Keep the train going. We're actually making pretty good time here. Three again. Crimp. Close. Crimp. Close. Crimp. Open. Hook. Oops. Hook number 2. Hook 3 and 4. Hook 3 and 4. It's the burden of always being on call. But they can wait till I'm finished. No, not with not with my shaky hands. And property management for commercial real estate office space. Yeah, if I was in the medical field, I'd probably kill my first patient with these hands. Two. Hook. And let's see where we're at. We are almost there. And I will put the clasp on and call it. Come on. Okay, we're going to attach the clasp here. Nothing complicated here. We're just going straight to the loops. So that'll be one end. Still got a little bit more to go. You know, I probably need to cut that a little bit smaller, but we're not going to know that till we get there. Got a little bit of bunching right there. Okay. Actually went a little bit too long, but that's okay. All right, end piece time. I need a big one. Only need one ring, but we're going to make a couple just in case I screw one up here. And we've got two big ones. Open both. Didn't open it enough. Through the same exact spot just to reinforce it a little bit better. You know what? Hold on. Dangle that one. That way. Bracelet out of paper clips. And this is where the cutting comes into place. Too big, so we're going to shorten. Should have brought my big little wire cutters. There we go. Take the tension off and it just turns into place, and then when it's on your wrist, it locks. Not the easiest thing to do one-handed, but that's okay. It works. All right, less than 1 hour. Not counting the clasp. 12 paper clips. Clasp also paper clips, just not counting those in the numbers. You can make it bigger. You can make it smaller. But that's all there is to it. You can do the European form one. You can make a bracelet. And that's a wrap. Going to go let my dog out and cook some dinner. I will be back on tomorrow, and we will be making rings out of Byzantine weave. Fingers. Not this thick, obviously. But I'll see you then.